late, you may view this recording later for the parts of this lesson that you will be missing out. Okay. Sige. So our topic for today is structural steel connections and detailing. So we will be discussing yung sa structural steel just to differentiate. Well, I think I already discussed this one to you last time. Whenever we say structural steel, this is different from the reinforcement bars or the reinforcing steel. Pag sinabi natin reinforcing steel, sinasama natin yun with the concrete. Pag sinabi natin structural steel, it is a separate structural member or material that were being used as a structural member. Okay. So for its for its definition, it is a steel used as a primary load-bearing material. So take note, similar with the concrete beams, so meron din tayong steel beams. Okay? So I think you've already seen some of buildings, structures that are made out of using structural steel. Okay? And then the common application of this, yun nga, sa mga buildings, bridges, industrial facilities. Okay, yung mga residential, not so, kasi medyo mahal. To compare it with the cost in terms of the concrete, if you're gonna compare this one, it is quite expensive compared with the concrete. Although, if you're going to look on a bigger picture, even though that it is quite expensive, the structure will be ready as early as it could. Okay, probably it could be 1 month earlier, or let's say mga a year, or few months earlier kapag ginawa mo yung structure made out of steel instead of concrete. Kasi take note that whenever we're using concrete, we need settling time, we need curing time. So unlike sa steel, wala, pagka-install, salpak-salpak lang, tapos na. So in the end, on a client perspective, mas gusto nilang matapos kagad yung project para magamit na nila yung structure, di ba? So para in case mag-generate na ng profit. So mababawi din nila in a way kaysa tetenga sila. So it's a decision matter with yon sa client kung anong gagawin. Ay, class, wait lang . Okay. So going back, aside from its common application, the advantages of using um, steel, okay, it is a high strength, and then in terms of its weight, kasi if you're going to compare the weight of a steel structure compared sa concrete structure, which is massive, okay, mas magaan yung steel in a way, and at the same time mas mataas yung strength capability niya. Well, kaya din namang habulin yun sa concrete lang, yun nga, mas bibigat yung isang concrete structure. On the other hand naman, it is also durable, and it has an ability to be recycled or to be reused. Dahil kunwari nagtanggal ka or magpapalit ka ng member na made out of steel, so pwede mo pwede mo pang ipa-recycle yung member na yon. Okay? So for the types of structural steel, by the way, just for a disclaimer that this image came from TKL Steel Corp. Ano to? Local company, if I'm not mistaken, local company to, kasi parang ito yung logo ng kapitbahay namin sa Cavite. So sila yung, I think, supplier doon within the area. Okay. So for the types of structural steel sections, ito yung mga sections na available, can be in form of bearing pile or H shape, okay? And then channel or C beam, or yung iba tawag to C channels. Ayan, normally ginagamit natin to sa sa bubong. And then we have the I beam or the white flange. Okay, take note yung web, at ito yung ito yung length of the web, okay? And then ito naman yung flange. Ayan. Tapos kapag channel, this is the web, and then this is the flange. Then this is the flange, and then this is the web. Pag sabi natin flange, yun yung naka-extend na pahaba. Tapos web, yun yung kung gaano kahaba yung isang member. Okay, aside from that, we have L shapes, okay, or the angle bars, or yung angle shape. Then we have the hollow sections, okay, and then pipe na made out of steel. Yeah, normally makikita natin to kapag ginamit sa mga supports or shoring, sa mga formworks or scaffolding. Yeah, pwede tayo makakita niyan. Sa structure na made out of pipe, di pa ako nakakita kung if ever meron man, bihira. Pero normally ang mga ginagamit natin ito I-beam talaga. Kapag mga columns and so on, kasi mas ano siya, ano to? If I'm not mistaken, mas taas yung strength niya compare with the other cross section. Okay. And then nawala lang dito is the plates tsaka yung bars. Ayan. So another image of a of other structural steel sections. So ito yung wide flange, ito yung web natin sa ibabaw, then yung flange, then the web is the one vertically lined here. Ayan. Then we also have this angle. So there are angle bars that are equal legs, meaning pantay itong haba na to sa same thickness. On the other hand naman, unequal leg naman, cases na mas maiksi yung isa over the other. Then there are cases wherein we made we modify this section. So we combine each sections available to form a different one. Like for example, this one, dalawang angle, pinag-weld natin. And then, meron naman yung plate, gumawa tayo ng wide flange. Instead na ang gamitin is ito, wide flange or yung I-beam. Gumawa ng I-beam made out of plate. Plate yan yung mga commonly nakikita nyo na inilalatag sa kalsada. Okay, kapag may ginagawa, tapos gusto lang muna nilang takpan, naglalagay sila ng plate. Tapos sasamahan na lang nila ng unequal legs na angle bar. Then it is joined through weld or maybe through bolt. Pwede sila mag-bolt dyan. Depende kung ano yung i-specify ng structural engineer. Okay? So nasabi ko yung weld and then yung bolt. So that would fall under the typical connections. Normally, etong mga sinasabi ko na to, kung yung structure nyo is made out of steel, mapapansin nyo yan na, ito yun, and so on. So, for the steel connections, so ito yung mga commonly connections na ginagawa on-site. Una, yung pin connection, wherein may naka-usling plate, tapos ipapasok natin yung parang laruan lang, tapos naglalagay tayo ng bolt. If you are familiar, if you would recall yung topic natin sa theory of structures, 'di ba? Meron kayong TOS. So, meron doon na or sa kahit sa statics, yung mga types of support, may roller, may hinge, 'di ba? Or may pin. Yan. So ito yan, naka-pin connection siya. Okay? Ito yung example niyan. And then another steel connection is naka-gasket plate connection or bolted. Ano lang ito? Meron tayong plate na naka-weld or naka-bolt doon sa isang steel structure, this one. Tapos plate siya na naka-bolt din doon sa ating additional structural member na made out of steel. Hindi mo kasi may connect basta-basta yung, let's say, itong wide flange na to, ito, doon sa another wide flange na this one, tsaka itong parang color yellow na wide flange. Kasi, ano sila, um, ang wide flange is diba parang nakapa-letter I lang, ganyan. So, para ma-connect natin, we need to have a connector. Gagawa kayo ng gasket plate connection. And then, nakakonect yung gasket plate sa column na steel. Tapos yung mga beams and braces na steel, nakakonect din sa gasket plate. Then, it is connected by bolts. Okay, bolted. Or minsan, riveted, depende kung ano yung design. Now, pag welded naman, ito example ng welded, I think na turo natin last time ng mabilis lang and then naging part ng quiz nyo, yung mga weld ano to yung mga weld symbols if you could remember. Tsaka kasama ng mga bolt symbols or rivet symbols doon sa drawing, di ba? Ayan, so an example of weld. So I think you are very familiar with that one. And then lastly, riveted connection, kumbaga naka-fastener siya or fasten yung steel doon sa ating ano to kung saan siya dapat nakakonect. For example, ito, kung mapapansin nyo, ayan, hindi siya solid na parang wide flange. If I would check this one, teka, i-zoom in natin. Ayan, no. Kung mapapansin nyo dito, may plate sa gitna, ito. Tapos, diba, hindi pantay, ito. Most likely, this is an angle bar. Tapos, nasa taas yung another plate to form parang same as this one. Yan, parang same as this one. Pero, ang connection niya is riveted. Ayan, rivet yung ginamit. Okay? Ang difference na take note lang sa pagka-rivet and bolt is that pagka-rivet, para siyang fastener, naka-fasten siya. Pagka-bolted connection naman, may bolts and nuts yan na parang threaded. Tapos may washer. Okay? So another images for the connection are this four. Okay, so ito yung example of a pin connection. Tapos ito yung sa gasket plate. Kung mapapansin nyo, itong may C na to, may B, tapos yung may M3 na yan. Those are different types of steel sections. Diba? Ito wide flange, this is wide flange, this is could be tubular. Wait lang. Okay, then meron tayong gasket plate dito. Ayan, yung gasket plate welded I think kasi ayan yung yellow yung connection, naka-weld siya dito. And then etong plate na to is naka-bolt on this side. Ayan. Siguro I guess this ano to, medyo malabo lang. Tingnan nga natin. Zoom in natin. Could be ayan. Could be a plate welded tapos pamaring sa kabila ganun din. Naka-bolt siya tapos may plate ka dyan. Okay? Ayan. And then another one is weld. Ayan. Mapapansin nyo dun sa weld, ito parang ay, nawala. Sorry. Nawala ba? Ayan. Going back ito, sige, ipakita ko ulit. I think dito ako naputol. So yon, if you can see, 'di ba, yan yung letter A, B and C, and then think meron ditong maliit na plate na naka-weld, yan yung yellow, mga weld yan. Tapos meron tayong gasket plate diyan na naka-weld doon yung tubular. Tubular nga ba? Yeah. Tapos naka bolt dito sa side na to. Okay? And then yon, yung weld. Yan, kung mapapansin nyo, ito parang nakapa-letter V. So, ginagawa na yan. Tapos, wine-weld natin yan. So, makikita nyo naman yan doon sa symbols. Later, papasadahan natin. Yung sa symbol kasi, yun yung actual na itsura niya doon sa connection. And then, ito is, yun nga, naka-rivet yung connection natin. Okay. For the detailing in structural plans, okay, it should be precise graphical representation of steel components and connection. So dapat as you do it, as you model it, dapat somehow you model it, kumbaga dinodrawing mo yung actual. Yung iba kasing mga napansin kong mga CAD operator, hindi sila magaling mag-detail. Hindi nila masyadong sinusunod yung 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 actual. So dapat as we detail everything, kahit lang, kahit manual detailing lang, yung kasi kapag ginawa mo sa model, basically same lang eh. Pero yun nga, kunwari meron kang isang plate, tapos maglalagay ka ng series of bolts, tapos ganito yung spacing. Kailangan, pag dinrawing mo, eksakto. Okay? Para makikita mo if the information that you are providing, yun, is logical. Okay? And take note, it should include yung member size and locations. Ito nga yung sinasabi ko. Kailangan kasi eksakto yung location para makita yung actual representation. Tsaka kapag ka nagsukat ka, yun din yung pagbabasihan sa site. Kasi ang importante diyan, ma-fabricate sa site yung dinodrawing natin as detailer. Okay. Well, in a way, kahit i-check din naman yan ng structural engineer. Kaya lang kasi given sa future, there would be chances na maging structural engineer din kayo kapag natuloy kayo sa ladderized program. Okay? So, para hindi na magpaulit-ulit ng rework, sa end pa lang ng detailer, matapos na. Okay, pero it is also a good thing if you as an engineer know how to detail. So mahuhuli mo or makikita mo kung merong kailangang baguhin dun sa detail. Kasi pag hindi at nakalusot, ang liability doon in the end nasa engineer. Okay? Ayun. And then yun, next is yung connection types and dimensions, kung gaano kahaba yung mga dimensions or mga details and kung anong klaseng connection type which I discussed sa previous slide. And then yun, yung mga fabrication notes, if there are any notes, instructions, detailed instructions during the fabrication, dapat indicated. And of course, it should be tied with the standards that we are using. Like for example, the AISC, the Eurocode, or yung NSCP kapag local dito sa Pilipinas. Okay? For the symbols, so ito pinakita na natin to last time. Okay? So, ito yung kanyang definition and then yung ating symbol. And then, for the weld, ganun din. So, for the weld kasi, ang kinagandahan sa weld, makikita mo na siya ng actual kung anong itsura niya. So, ito halos flat lang yung steel tapos nag-fillet ka lang ng weld and so on. So, may makikita kayo nakapa-letter B, meaning ginagrinder yan bago natin i-connect ng katulad niyan. Similar with this, ayan, makikita niyo, nakapa-letter B. Tapos may weld ka sa ibabaw. Okay? Sige. I think yun. So that is for the symbol. And then you as your role as a detailer, so as I've said, you should be able to translate yung design papunta sa fabrication drawing. So as I've said, the product that you are preparing, yung plans for the fabrication should be clear with of course the coordination with the engineers and fabricators. If there are any instructions laid out by the engineer, so it should be noted. And if there are any questions or clarifications made by the fabricators, it should be coordinated also sa inyo para ma-address later. And then the software that we normally use, unang-una yung AutoCAD. Yan lang yung pinapagawa ko sa inyo, yung AutoCAD. Kasi alam nyo na marunong na kayo mag-AutoCAD, di ba? And then yung Tekla structures, so hindi natin yan i-tackle. And then for the Revit, siguro if we have the chance this semester, I will still be preparing yung videos for this one. Okay? Now, let's go with the next slide, which is the common challenges. So ano ba yung mga nagiging issues natin doon sa kapag nagbibigay tayo ng details or ng plan ng details sa client or doon sa fabricators. Una, incomplete yung design information. Cases is that hindi pa nailalagay lahat ng information tapos ipinforward na natin yung files or yung plans. Okay? Then there are also conflicts between the archi and structural drawings, meaning if you're going to relate that sa BIM kasi papasok sa BIM tong ano na to, issue na to eh. Kapag ka nag-model tapos kinonsolidate yung lahat yung model sa Navisworks tapos nakita yung pagkaka-detail mo na structural won't work dahil may mga architectural features and vice versa. So, doon nagkakaroon ng conflict that needs to be erased. I think we discussed that one, di ba, under BIM, yung sa B-model checking, yung BMC, if you could remember. So, diyan papasok yun. And then, with this one, the tolerance and fit up issues, take note that whenever we do connections, kailangan natin ng tolerance. Like for example, sa bolts, eto nakalimutan ko yung tolerance niya. Kapag magbubutas ka ng bolt, hindi pwede na kung ano yung diameter ng bolt, yun yung diameter ng butas. Okay? I forgot how many mm allowance pag nagbutas ka para pag sinut mo yung bolt, pasok, pero hindi naman sobrang luwag. Okay? Kasi kapag eksaktong-eksakto, take note, nagpo-form ng rust, 'di ba? Ang steel, so wala tayong allowance, pwedeng masira yung connection. Or take note, nag-expand lahat ng material kapag mainit. Okay? So pwedeng magkaroon ng fatigue doon sa bolt at masira. So kailangan meron tayong allowance for that. Siyempre kapag kunwari, medyo nilakihan mo na ng konti, as I've said, nakalimutan ko yung additional tolerance with that. So kapag nag-drill ka kung saan mo ilalagay yung bolt, tas mainit yung panahon, kakapal yung yung bolt ng very small amount lang naman, and then ganun din yung ating plate, for example, kung saan ka nagbutas. So what will happen is that at least kung meron kang allowance, so hindi mai-stress yung connection or yung kung saan nagdidikit yung bolt tsaka yung plate. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Then lastly, yung coordination with other trades. So yun, it will fall under the BIM. So these are the common issues. Like for example, if there are a need for you to compare those models galing from sa structural sa other disciplines. Okay? Ayun. So bago ako pumunta sa last slide ko under the conclusion, ay papakita ko lang yung mga plans kung paano ba natin siya kino-call out. I think that's one of the requirement ko, 'di ba? Yung may bubong. Kasi para may structural steel. Yun lang kasi unless kung yung nakuha nyo is may structural column. Ito is just a connection. Katulad niyan, nakalagay kung anong klase mga symbol. So makikita nyo to. To naka-fillet to eh. Okay, makikita ito yan. Yung triangle na yan. Ibig sabihin, fillet welded yan. So pag tiningnan mo yan dito, ayan o. Ito yung triangle na yun. Ayan. Okay? Then, saan na ba yun? Ito pa. Ayan. So most likely, mga naka-fillet weld lang naman yan eh. Ayan. Okay. And then let's go with the, saan na ba yun? Structural. Ayun, ito. Ay, hindi. Wood ang ginamit dito. Teka, wag timber. Tingin pa tayo ng iba. Normally kasi bakal naman ang ginagamit eh. Ayan, ito. Makikita nyo dito, ayan. Naka-call out ito. Dito. Sabi dito, ito yung thickness, tapos ito yung dimension ng zipper leads. 2x3. 2 yung flange, 3 yung depth. Okay. In inches, C purlins or C channel. Okay, ito yan. Ano ba yun? Ito yan. Channel or C beam or C purlins. Kasi nga sa purlins usually ginagamit yan. Sabi sa roofing. Tapos yun, naka-indicate ilan yung spacing. Ito, kapag ginagawa natin yan, yung spacing, sundin din natin na ito dapat yung at least spacing. Now, there would be cases na hindi eksaktong 300 mm lalabas na. Okay lang 'yon. Yung at 300 mm na at 300 mm or 0.3 meters on center naman ito. This would reflect na yan yung maximum spacing. Kapag kasi yung install that more than 300 mm, baka lumusot yung paa ng mga maglalakad diyan. Okay? Kaya very yan, very crucial yan doon sa actual. Okay lang naman na mas masinsen or sabihin natin maging 250 yung pagitan ng isa kasi na dulo na, okay lang 'yon. Okay? So I think that's it lang naman. Ayan, example yan. Tapos eto. Ayan, sabi ko si channel. Tapos for the connection naman yan usually sa bubong. Either pako lang naman yan or rivet. Depende kung ano yung ginamit for the connection. Ayan, for the web members, nakalagay ba dito? Ayan, may plate kung saan nakapatong siya doon sa ating roof beam. Teka, hanapin natin tong web members. Ay, ito pala. Anong binigay dito? T1 connection. Teka. Walang kulang. Normally kasi dapat meron tayong designation kung ano yung gagamiting bakal dito sa web members. Top chord, wala walang nakalagay. Dito. Wala din. Well, mali pa detail column footing, di naman column footing 'yan. Kulang. So ito yung mga example na tinatanong kung ano bang gagamitin as part of the web members. Wala lang naka-indicate kung anong dimension ng web members for this plate, yung kay Amikay kung kanino man ito. Kasi dapat meron yan, electrical na to Okay. Dapat meron yan. Similar with this one, indicated anong size ng purlins. Ito hindi indicated anong size ng web members. Wala, kulang. Tingin tayo ng iba pang plan. Normally kasi, naka-Raptors lang para mura Pero yung mga naka-truss, may mga ganon. Ito katulad nito, Raptor lang Sa Raptor kasi, nakaano yung C purlins. Mapapansin nyo. Ito. Pag Raptor, lang siya, may steel lang na nakatungtong na nakapabalagbag. Tingnan nga natin kung meron tayong roof framing dito. Ito. Yan. Mapapansin nyo, Raptor, may isa, dalawa, tatlo. Tatlong bakal lang na mahaba na nakapadiagonal. Okay? Imagine niyo to class Teka. Turo natin. Paano natin mabivisualize tong rafter na to? Ayan. Tapos, ayan. So, single slope yung bubong niya. Okay. Since single slope yung bubong, meron kang tatlong rafters dito. That is rafter type C purlin. So, ito yung size natin. Okay. Now, sa ibabaw niyan, nandun yung purlins. Okay. Rafter, meron kang mas malaking steel. Tapos, nakaano na yung purlins kung saan ikakabit yung bubong. Kaya kung titingnan natin to cross section na to, take note that this is a section detail ng isang rafter na mayroong purlin sa ibabaw. Naghang. Yan. So ayan siya. So meron kang mga C channels, ayan. C purlins na nasa ibabaw. C purlins din. Yung type lang ng steel to pero rafter siya kasi mas malaki. That's 2 by 6 inches. Tapos, sa ibabaw niya may nakapatong na 2 by 3 kung saan nandun na yung bubong. Okay? I hope clear tayo dyan. Okay? Tapos meron tayong plot bar dito and so on. Okay? So, yun lang naman yung normaling makikita natin whenever we discuss about structural steel. Sa mga residential, pag sinabi natin structural steel, yan yung mga normally makikita mo lang yan sa roof. Okay? Unless merong other specified location. Then, maliban na lang din kung meron kang column or beam na ginamitan ng structural steel. And then, the rest, as what the presentation um, discussed. So, sa malalaking buildings yan, bridges, and industrial facility. Lalo sa industrial facility kasi mabilisan ginagawa. Like yung mga warehouses, mga planta, yan, bakal yan. Kasi kailangan nila ng maliit na section pero mabigat ang kayang ilagay. Okay? With that, to end this discussion, take note that structural steel enables robust, flexible design, connection. Okay, and then all connection ensures safety and performance. So whatever connections being required, so all of them are being calculated by the structural engineer. And then lastly, detailing is essential for constructability and compliance. May mga engineers din na whenever they design, they don't think about constructability. Kailangan as part of the detailer, we also capture that. Okay? Hindi naman masama na let's say questionin natin yung structural engineer na, sir, okay ba to kasi parang hindi na magkakasya na ganito, ganito, ganyan. So makikita niya naman yun sa actual kung ano yung mga flaws na in terms of constructability. In design wise, sabihin natin pwede, pero in constructability wise, hindi. An example of that, ito wala siya kinalaman sa structural steel. Pero in terms of constructability, for example, meron kang cross section ng beam. Tapos na-compute mo, kailangan mo ng 6 na bakal sa taas. Sabihin natin 6 na 12 mm. Kunwari yan yung na-compute. So 6. So 6 na 12 mm. Tapos sabihin natin ang ano natin dito ay 300 lang mm. So if you have 12 mm na 6, so that's 72, di ba? Plus mo pa, ay sorry, 300 mm minus, so 12 na, ano to, 12 na 12 mm na 6 na piraso, minus, both sides, di ba, meron tayong concrete cover, sabihin natin that's 40. Yan yung diniscuss natin last time, di ba? So 188. So kaya lang, ilan ba spacing meron dyan? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you're going to divide that sa 5, 37.6. So, or sabihin natin, gawin natin 7 na lang, 7. 7. Para sabihin natin 7 yung na-compute na 12. So 300 minus 12 mm na 7 minus 4 40 mm both sides. So 136. So ilan yung spacing diyan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you divide that into 6. So 22 mm na lang. So ibig sabihin kada isang bakal ang pagitan niya ay 22. Okay, 22 mm. Tama ba 'yon? Or 20, sige, 22.67. Kung sabihin 22. Ang size ng isang graba na ginagamit 3/4. So kapag naghalo ka ng concrete, 'di ba? So that's 3/4, sabihin natin 25.4. Multiply natin sa 3/4, 25.4 times over 4. So 19. So ibig sabihin, yung graba mo halos ganyan nakalaki. 19 konting-konti na lang. Syempre may mga didikit pa diyang mga cement, sand, and gravel. So pag binuhos mo ngayon yan, possible na maklag yan. 'Di ba? Tama ba 'yon? Pagka nagbuhos tayo, makaklag siya. Kasi nga halos wala ng pagsuotan. So ano ngayon pwede mong gawin? So pwede mo sabihin na, sir, baka kailangan natin i-bundle. Babundle natin yung rebar, or baka kailangan natin magpalit ng size ng bakal para mas kumonte yung number. Pwede din naman ganon. Okay, so para magkakasya. Kasi, yun, in terms of constructability, pwede magkaroon ng issue. So we don't want that to happen. Kasi baka hindi na magkasya yung tray-port na rebar. Okay? Ayun. So yun. So that would be the end of our lecture for this structural detailing. Okay? I hope may natutunan kayo with a very brief or and short discussion about structural detailing. For the rest of the day, so I will be leaving you the time para tapusin yung plate. May question? Stop ko na muna yung recording.